Hi, welcome to our player data sales demo. My name's Jack. I'm going to be talking you through some of the application here, showing some of the key features on how we can add benefit to your team. Perfect. So just open the app up here. As you can see, this is our main home screen, and I can talk you through some of the key features that you see here. So we've got our last session at the top there, and underneath that we've got this week's team averages. You can see our top performers via the leaderboard. And then you can look at all of the key metrics, so your top speed, high intensity running, distance covered, etc. We've then got our progress tab. This is where you can see how this current week's performing against the previous week, and that's highlighted by a darker colour and a lighter colour on the graphs that you can see there. Our matches tab, that will show you your form guide, how you've been performing as a team in the recent results, and you can jump quickly into previous matches. The training tab, that will cover all your recent training sessions, showing all the athletes that have competed in those sessions in previous weeks. And finally, our Analyze tab. This is where you can download reports on singular sessions, match sessions, training sessions, head-to-head comparisons, and a whole host of other reports. I've just opened up a match report here, as you can see. And I'm just going to talk you through how this looks and how you can access some more accurate data at a touch of a couple of buttons. So you can see at the top here, we've got the session details. This is where you're going to input what time and day that the match started and finished, and the athletes that took part. This is where you're also going to input the result and the opposition that you played against. And then once you've uploaded your data, you're then going to see all of our key metrics across the session. So as I mentioned previously, your distance, number of sprints, etc. They'll all be listed there. You can view those as averages or as totals of the team. You'll then also see below that, you've got a percentage with a green or a red triangle for positive or negative, essentially. And that's comparing to the previous session, and that's whether you've increased or decreased from that previous session. Below that, you've got our 5-minute breakdown, and you can view this over the first half, second half, or the full match to see how your team have compared over 5-minute intervals across the distance covered. You can then go into the athletes tab. This is where you'll get a singular athlete overview across all of our key metrics and essentially get a whole leaderboard of the session. You can then jump into individual athletes by clicking the button and viewing their key metrics against their previous session. You can then go into positional maps, a fantastic tool for looking at tactical play. You can look at average positions as well as their actual heat map, and also the intensity maps as well, which will cover their high intensity runs and their sprints. You can use this to compare different athletes in different positions, or just focus on singular athletes when you're doing match analysis. You've then got our events tab. This is where you can put in individual events such as goals, yellow cards, etc. This is also where you'll find our auto subs feature, which will automatically detect when substitutes have happened, and it will come into this section for you to confirm those. And finally, we've got our playback feature. This is where you can watch back the full match and view every single movement that each player has made. Great, just jumped into a training session here. I'm just going to show you some of the differences between a training session and a match. As you can see, slightly less info on the top, including the match result, etc., as there's not been a match completed. But you do get all of our key metrics and an intensity profile down at the bottom as well. You can also jump into individual athletes as you would have done previously in the match report. We've also got our segments feature, which is a fantastic way for you to individually break down the training session to view the key metrics in different parts of your session. For example, the warm-up, passing drill, finishing drill. You can individually see how your athletes have performed in each one of those. A great feature within the app is our survey system, which you can utilize to ask athletes questions on how they're feeling, what their fatigue levels are like, their overall feeling around the group. And you can do that within the app, which is very time saving from rather than individually messaging players. You can do it within a couple of clicks, ask the questions you want to find out, and the players can then respond back within the app.